Thank you so Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am so happy to be part of this. The previous speakers there, oh my God, I've learned a lot. I am so grateful. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So today I want to speak to your heart, my women, my beautiful ladies, not just about money, but about what money represents in a woman's life. Identity, dignity, self-esteem, stability, and the freedom to make choices. That is why my topic today, becoming financially capable. Every woman must earn, is not just a topic. It is a message. It is a calling. It is a reminder of who we must become. Let me start with this truth. Every woman must earn, whether you are single or married, because earning is not about competing with anyone. It is not pride. It is about owning your life. And then this question, why must every woman earn, regardless of your relationship status? For the singles in the room, my sisters, let me talk to you with honesty and love. When you earn, you take responsibility for your own needs. But when you depend on family, friends, or partners for everything, it eventually becomes draining. It becomes embarrassing and unhealthy because every time you have to constantly ask for help just to survive, a part of your dignity starts to shrink. Your confidence reduces. Your relationship becomes strained. Your self-esteem suffers. But you see, when you earn, even when the money is small, something inside you begin to rise. You become bold, you become confident, and you become capable. I am not telling you this as a theory. Let me share my own story. When I was in high school and in my early years in the uni as a day student, I used to go to my mother's shop in the local market almost 4 to 5 times a week. She sold lingerie, and helping her wasn't just a chore, it became my first business school. I learned how to talk to customers. I learned how to price items, and I learned that a woman who earns even a little works with confidence. Whenever I went to the shop, I would carry some of the goods back to uni, to the hostel, and if an underwear was selling, if she was selling it for 150 naira, I would sell for 200 or even 250. The profit wasn't huge, yes, it wasn't big money, but it wasn't millions. But guess what? It was my money. It kept me from being stranded and taught me the joy and dignity of earning something for myself. Fast forward to my 40 during my industrial training. So I applied, I was with that particular company for 2 weeks and a job opening came up. I applied, but the company insisted that they needed someone with work experience or so to say marketing strategy, right? So I went straight to the manager and I shared my story boldly. I told him how I used to carry my mother goods from market to the hostel to sell and market. I even told him that I market the product so well that I often sold more at a higher price than my mother, who is the actual shop owner. He listened, he smiled, and he was impressed. That same day, he took me to the CEO. I repeated my story again. I explained my skills, how I could market anything and sell it at a higher price than the actual shop owner. And that was how I got the job without any formal work experience. And from there, my earnings shifted from small profits to thousands, and that job kept became the beginning of a new chapter for me. I kept growing in that company until the day I left Nigeria. All of this started from small sales, those little profits, and the simple decision to earn something for myself. And that made all the difference. I wasn't stranded. I didn't have to beg for little things. I could buy my own essential while in the uni. Now, I want every woman to hold this sentence close to their hearts. A woman who earns is never stranded. Do you know why I want you to hold this close to your heart? Because it is true. When you earn, you are never stranded. A woman who earns has options. She thinks clearly. She is harder to manipulate. A woman who earns walks with her head high. You may not be rich, but earning something is the beginning. of becoming capable, confident, and free. Now, to my married sisters, let me speak to your spirits. Even if your partner provides 90%, your 10% carries power. Your 10% may not run the whole household, yes, but it strengthens you. It is your confidence, your self-esteem, your mental balance. Earning does not mean you are competing with your husband. No, far from it. It simply means you are contributing. And contributing is empowering. There is a special kind of joy that comes from knowing that you can buy your own things. You can pay for your hair, something as hair. You can surprise your husband or even your partner with a gift. You can handle your own small needs. It is not about the money. It is about the dignity. It is about the identity. It is about knowing that you are not a burden, but you are a partner. Because when a woman earns even a little, something inside her becomes steady, grounded, and affirmed. There is something your financial contribution does, no matter how small. It is therapeutic. I'll repeat that again. There is something your financial contribution does, no matter how small. It is therapeutic. It gives you voice. It gives you confidence. It gives you peace. And my sisters, a confident woman is a blessing to her home. Do not rely on others. Relying on others is very dangerous. I am saying this boldly. Listen, my ladies, my sisters, a woman who depends on others for every need becomes emotionally vulnerable and mentally tired. That is why you see some women dating or getting married to someone who they shouldn't have, because they were financially dependent. We must protect our dignity and avoid vulnerability. Take yourself from a place of survival to a place of self-worth. Now, the huge question, who is a financial capable woman? She is a woman who earns, even if it is small. She's the woman who manages what she has, a woman who takes responsibility for her life. She grows her skills. She's not afraid of opportunities. She contributes something, and that contribution builds her confidence. Being financially capable doesn't mean being rich. It means being ready. It means being steady and being in control. You have to be ready, steady, and in control. And to be frank, in our world today, one income is no longer enough. Because I remember when I moved to Dubai, I had a job, yes, but I knew that my salary alone could not carry the life I wanted for myself. So I created another stream of income. And guess what? I didn't need capital. I didn't need a shop. I didn't need an inventory. All I needed was my phone, an internet access, and a social media account. I became a personal shopper, online personal shopper. I would go to malls, take real-life pictures of clothes, perfumes, bags, branded and unbranded, and post them. Whoever wanted something sent me the money. I added my service charge. If the buyer was within UAE, I sometimes deliver it myself and collected the delivery fee. That simple idea became another stream. No stress, no huge investment, just courage, creativity, and a willingness to start. And that is why I tell women everywhere, your second income doesn't need capital. It needs courage. So here in BWK, Beyond Women Konnect, we teach this truth. Every skill can become income. Every gift can grow. Every talent or passion can pay you. And then, what are the practical ways women can start earning? Remember this. You don't need capital to start. You need courage. Ladies, if you want to start earning, don't look far. Look inward. Start small. Just like Dr. Jerry said, start small. Start with what you have. Start with what you know. Start with what you love. Start with what makes your heart come alive. I'll repeat that again. Start small. Start with what you have. Start with what you know. Start with what you love, and start with what makes your heart come alive. Look at your skills, your hobbies, your strengths. Use digital platforms or simple offline opportunities. If you need a skill, my dear, learn it. Let me also share my story. Everyone knows me that I absolutely love children, even though I studied estate management, a very lucrative profession in Dubai. But when I moved to Dubai, I followed my passion because passion opened doors. Let your passion guide your journey. Let your passion fuel your dreams. When I arrived in Dubai, UAE, I decided to start with what I truly love, which is working with children. I remember my interview clearly. I sat in front of the school principal and I told her how back home I used to gather children on weekends and holidays to teach them. How even in primary and secondary school, I loved writing on the board for my classmates to copy. I have a couple of them here. They could testify to that. I love writing on the boards for them to copy. I sold myself with confidence, not through certificates, but through passion. They gave me the job, yes, as an assistant teacher, but listen carefully. Beautiful women, when you start small, do not remain small. When you start small, do not remain small. Remember, we are talking about practical ways to start. So I knew I had more inside of me. I knew I had the heart of a real educator. So I started learning. I researched the courses needed for me to become a classroom teacher and not an assistant teacher. I invested in myself. I grew and I earned a diploma in early childhood education. And soon after, I got a job of a classroom teacher, my dream role at the time. Not because of where I started, but because I refused to stay where I started. And that is the heart of financial capability. Start with passion. Grow your skills. Build your capacity and step boldly into opportunities. Remember, the woman you are becoming needs you to start. And I have a call to action, ladies, today. I call you into financial capability. Take responsibility for your financial life. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start with a small stream of income. Value that your 5%, your 10%, value with it all matters. Break the mindset of dependency. Step into confidence. Build, grow, and contribute. You deserve a life where you are not stranded. You deserve a life where you can choose. You deserve a life where your voice matters. In conclusion, as Maya Angelou said, nothing will work unless you do. I will say that again. Nothing will work unless you do. And today, I am reminding you that you have everything you need to begin. Yes, you heard me right. You have everything it takes because you are capable, you are equipped, you are powerful, and you are enough. When women earn, family rise, community rise, and generation rise. I want you to live here today determined to earn something, no matter how small, because that small beginning may change your entire life. Thank you, Beyond Women Konnect. Let's rise together, let's earn together, and let's become financially capable together. Thank you, everyone, for listening.